All aboard. It's episode 50 in the Pak128 First Honest Try game in Simutrans. Pak128 being also known as the pretty version of the game, by me at least, because it is far prettier and a little bit better graphics than the Pak64 version, which is the old school 64-bit graphics. Pak128 represents the 128 and 192 represents it. We've got some new vehicles, plane, which I'm not planning on using anytime soon. We'll play with planes in another game. I'm still trying to understand ground and surface transport. Got an oil tender for, an oil-powered one. All right. Next question up for me is, what can I do here on How Not to Game with Kelly Jack? I'm Kelly Jack, the gaming handle persona identity of the guy behind Dyfed Rex. And the question here is now, rather simply, what can we do to improve service on the lines? We've already sped up the main line up there. So the question becomes, should I speed up the Telford, where we've got a diesel on it that can do a little bit faster? And I'm betting that might be the way to go. But first, we were looking at what other systems we need to upgrade, and the Floundering Ferry has still on sale. And while that's cool and fun and hilarious, maybe we should take a peek down here in this area and see what we can replace the fancy pants with. That's the dock. Where's our shipyard? Is the shipyard over here? Yes, okay. There's our shipyard. What do we got for passenger ferries? Well, the cost is going to be the big change. We've got the brig going right now. He runs us $1.09. We'd carry a lot more passengers, 5 times more passengers, but it's going to cost us considerably more and a $5 a month fee. So the question becomes, is that a good choice to make? We also got the postal barge. We could start running postal boats. But I think we're just going to put out the Freya steamer onto that line. Leave the settings the same way, because it's obvious we're getting people, but it's slower, and we do need to take a look at what we can do to speed up everything in our gaming. Freya's going to cost us a bit more. Might set back our scheduling. But let's put him onto the Floundering Ferry, and we will retire our fancy pants. Now, one thing we do need to do with this guy is a small change. The Freya is going to need a name. And we're going to call this the CCRS Steam Beats. Why? Because I'm feeling quirky today. And I saw that Beats is an actual cargo in 192. But we're in 128, so we don't know what sort of cargoes we're going to get from the farms. Or do we? You know, that's a good question. Do we have the standard cargoes here? Hey, let's take a peek. We're going to sort by name. Beer, corn, cotton. Okay, fabrics, fertilizer, flour. Okay, we've got a really good. Why is waste out of sequence? Why do things go out of sequence? By revenue, and what's going to make us the most? Automobiles makes us the most, and then down to our cheapest, which is passengers and mail and steel. Steel is not the big money maker. It is in 64 that it is in one here in 128, I should say, that it is in 64. So Pack 64 was slightly better on the steel production and also on what you got for mail and passengers. So that is interesting to note, that it's going to be tougher. Let's go ahead and launch the Steam Beats. Close this out. And close out that. And I am going to tell him to go to Wakefield instead. It's closer, and we retired over here, so might as well have him go to the dock. All right, we've been working the trains. We have the short jumper, who's still on a steam engine. And maybe the short jumper needs to be upgraded to something better. Let's go on up to the short jumper and take a peek at where he's at. Short jumper runs from where? He operates from Hastings to Pudding, Oxford Pudding Station, Pudding Lane to Hastings Pointers Lane stations. So he's a short little run. Let's take a peek at what we can do over there at Oxford and Hastings. Now, if I remember right, I did build a dispatch yard down here, didn't I? No, I did not. I did not. Well, okay, maybe it is time to use our heads and put in a small dispatch yard up here. Depot. Platform with building. Storage capacity 64 for cargo. Nice to know. Nice to know. Got the village station and the full-on station, which is hard to understand what it's going to look like until we drop it into the game, but I don't feel the need to put it into the game yet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upgrade that line that he runs on. And speed it up quite a bit here. There we go. And then the speed into, of course, our station so that he keeps up his head of steam throughout. There we go. So slightly faster line. He is making money, but I think we can do better. Let's go take a look at what we have available to put out on the lines. So, passenger trains. We do happen to have the P100s. Self-powered and all that. What's our train cost us per station? Right now we're paying 90 cents a kilometer. For that powered train unit, we would be paying $263 for 50 passengers. We're running 84, not running full. You know what? And he's saying a negative income. Maybe we should look at the other motor cars. The Ugly Duck, $266 versus the CPH. The Silver Meteor doesn't have any passengers in it. Very expensive. The Flying Berliner, $441. Still not a good price. The Hiawatha, very fast, but beyond what we need. The more I look at it, right there, that's going to be our option. We will go ahead and buy for that guy the P100 tail. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else powered here that we can run. Motor car wise. That's all of our mail cars there. Yeah. So I think we'll just do the just do a double on this, and we're going to upgrade that. So again, he's on the short jumper. Line 17. We're going to upgrade him, and because this guy's full up coming back, that tells me that there is demand for an increase in service and speed on this. We're going to tell this train to go ahead and retire once he delivers, and it is time for the short jumper to begin service. And just out of curiosity, is he going to Hastings? Yes, he's going to Hastings. Good. We're going to be in the negative on that for a little bit. Switching back to freight for a few moments. What can we do here to take and improve our service? Well, obviously the Milk Maid. Uh-oh. A whole bunch of trains just went. Who became obsolete? General. The bully cars. Oh, our slimlines. That's what the slimlines just became discontinued. Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is going to hurt. But the Tatra 86T is now available as a tram. So we can take and see what we can do. But I think it's going to be best that we definitely begin looking into all of our lines where we need to go. So the Round Lake Collier just became an issue. And let's go to Round Lake. Or better yet, we can just work our way down the list. I think we'll just work our way down the list. But you know what? I went long on a lot of episodes this week for the closeout end game dashes on Fix-It and Max Chaos. So I'm going to take and cut this one short. A couple minutes short of the 20. Enjoy, and please have a better day than I'm having.